Hi, my name is Christopher Parent. I am the Director of Urban Planning and Environment for the Town of Kirkland. I am very pleased to present this information video on the planning process for the site host to the Kirkland REM station. This presentation aims to provide you with a summary of the work accomplished since the last consultation activities and specifically address the strategic vision developed to requalify the site. It will also touch on the consultation and planning process that will structure the vision. This initiative is in keeping with the commitment of the Kirkland Town Council to inform citizens on the progress of this major project and continue the dialogue with our citizens. Given that the planning of the site is intended to take full advantage of the arrival of the REM, we encourage you to view the first information video produced in collaboration with CDPQ Infra, which provides additional information on the arrival of the REM in the West Island and the work progress at the Kirkland station. With that, I wish you a good viewing. Planning process for the site host to the Kirkland REM station. Before starting the presentation, here's an overview of the topics that we will cover. First, we will identify the site to be requalified, which will bring us to the fundamental question, why requalify the site? We will then take a detailed look at the citizen consultation process, followed by an overview of the proposed planning process that will frame the approach, and a description of the vision for the site. Finally, we will take a look at the next steps to come. Identification of the site to be requalified. So let's start with an overview of the site to be requalified. The site is bounded by Elkis Boulevard on the north, by Jean-Yves Street on the east, by the service road of Highway 40 on the south, and by the right-of-way of the Quebec Ministry of Transport on the west. It is essentially the site occupied by the RioCan Commercial Center. The site has major infrastructure nearby, including the REM station, which is currently under construction on either side of Jean-Yves Street, and the rail that runs along the service road. The station will include a drop-off area for users accessible from the service road, as well as a bus terminal that will be located near the station. The Montreal Agglomeration's Lien de l'Ouest project will include a pedestrian and cycling path, an access road for buses between Antoine Faucon Street and the service road, as well as the planting of trees and vegetation mostly on the west side. The project will also include a cycling and walking footbridge connecting the Grand Parc de l'Ouest on either side of Highway 40. So why requalify the site? There are two main reasons. The first being its strategic location. Strategic because the Kirkland REM station is a major public transportation infrastructure which will be located on the site. And strategic also because of its proximity to the Montreal Agglomeration's future Grand Parc de l'Ouest, destined to become one of the largest municipal parks in Quebec. As can be seen outlined in green on the map, this park will incorporate a vast area that will provide high-quality recreational facilities in close proximity to our site. The second main reason to requalify the site is the unique opportunity it represents for several aspects, namely the opportunity to reinvent a complete sector and breathe new life into one of Kirkland's largest commercial centers that is currently losing momentum. Requalifying the site will allow to diversify Kirkland's housing offer in order to better meet the needs of our citizens in the short, medium, and long term. It is also an opportunity to revitalize a major commercial center. The RioCan site has been losing momentum for some time, as can be observed from the large number of vacant commercial units on the site. In addition, the site's large asphalted surface forms an important heat island. The arrival of the REM on the site provides an opportunity allowing for a major sustainable revitalization of the site for generations to come. The revitalization will also provide an opportunity to create a living environment that is complete, a living environment in which it will be possible to work, live, and play In short, a living environment complementary to our community. Consultation process. Now, let's look at the objectives of the process. The first objective is to involve citizens in the planning process for the site adjacent to the future REM station in Kirkland. The second objective is to inform citizens on the evolution of the REM project, the work progress at the Kirkland station, and the planning process to requalify the site. And the third objective is to inform citizens on the regulatory tool that will frame the requalification of the site adjacent to the REM station in Kirkland. Let's now take a look at the calendar of activities, both past and to come, as part of the consultation process. The process began with a participatory workshop held with citizens to identify potential issues and develop a vision for the site. At the present time, we are providing information videos to inform citizens on the work progress at the Kirkland REM station and on the process to requalify the site adjacent to the station. At the end of this presentation, you will be invited to submit your comments, suggestions, and questions on the requalification of the site. This information is crucial for the project to move forward and for planning the next activity. The next planned activity is a citizens information session and public consultation on the project that will be held in the spring of 2023. As a reminder, let's take a look back at the June 2017 workshop. At this participatory activity held with Kirkland citizens, some 280 participants exchanged in discussion groups to identify potential issues for the site adjacent to the Kirkland REM station and reflect on fundamental questions to develop a vision for the requalification of the site. To do so, participants were asked to answer two questions. The first being, what living environment do you envision for the study area? A place to shop? A place to live? A place of relaxation? A place for entertainment? A place to work? Or other? The second question put to participants was, how can this living environment be complementary to Kirkland? For example, what needs could this site address? How can it improve Kirkland? Let's take a brief look at the main elements identified by citizens as part of this workshop. The workshop identified the need to integrate a mix of commercial, residential, and recreational uses acting in symbiosis to create a pedestrian-friendly space, as well as an animated public plaza similar to those found in Europe, including a central area with a fountain, a work of art, a skating rink, local shops, restaurants, cafes, all in interaction with the public plaza. Buildings designed with quality architecture. Participants also highlighted the need for the site to be attractive with lots of greenery, lots of trees, plants, flowers, and vegetation. Finally, participants outlined the importance for the project to integrate harmoniously with the neighborhood, having no significant impact on traffic and on the quality of life in the area, and including buildings that are well integrated in terms of volume and height. Let's now look at the planning process. In accordance with the Land Use Planning and Development Act, land use planning is a shared responsibility between the Quebec government, RCMs, metropolitan communities, and municipalities. The Quebec government defines orientations to guide metropolitan, regional, and municipal land use planning. The most appropriate and most used regulatory tool to frame the vision for the site to requalify, as defined by the city, is the Special Planning Program, commonly known as SPP. What is the SPP? SPP stands for Special Planning Program, a land use planning tool that allows to define in greater detail the planning of a specific strategic areas requiring special attention from the city. The SPP is also a component of the town's planning program, Plans Urbanistes, as referred to in French. The Special Planning Program is specifically designed for planning municipalities' strategic areas. It is entirely developed by the municipality, who wishes to undertake a detailed planning of a specific site in accordance with the Act respecting land use, planning, and development. Once adopted, the special planning program will act as a regulatory framework for the owner of the site to redevelop in accordance with the vision determined by the citizens and the municipality. Why choose the SPP? It is a regulatory tool that allows the town to frame the future developments on the site adjacent to the Kirkland REM station. It will allow the town to dictate development orientations for the site in accordance with the vision developed by the town, namely with respect to land use, density, the road and active transportation network, parks and green spaces, and sustainable development. And finally, it allows municipalities to conduct studies in accordance with identified needs such as traffic study, demographic study, urban study, or others. Let's now take a look at the proposed vision for the site and its special planning program. The SPP's vision statement is as follows. Create a living environment prioritizing sustainable development, which over time will become a lively, multi-generational neighborhood on a human scale, asserting the identity and pride of the Kirkland population where it will be good to live, work, and play. The SPP vision is based on 5 main themes, which are greening, quality of life, central community, intermodality, and finally, sustainability. From these themes, 4 major development orientations emerge to create the vision. First orientation, develop an attractive, dynamic, and unifying living environment for the entire community. The second orientation, develop an inclusive, sustainable, and green living environment where the built environment is integrated into existing neighborhoods. The third orientation, create an accessible and safe neighborhood that meets the needs of the local population and advocates sustainable mobility. And the fourth orientation, create a neighborhood that is distinguished by high-quality architecture and design. The slides that follow introduce the concept of spatial organization, a planning tool that translates the vision which emerged from the points raised by the citizens as part of the participatory workshop. This concept may be defined as a planning exercise in the form of a plan that paints a global picture of how the different land uses, such as green spaces, residential, commercial, and mixed uses, are spread across the site. It should be noted that the spatial organization plan is not a final plan. It is only shown as an illustration to highlight the development orientations which must be respected. The first slide shows the location of the future Kirkland REM station and a conceptual projection of the street's layout. Next are the structuring green spaces that surround the site and connect the strategic points of the site, including the public plaza, the REM station, the Grand Parc de l'Ouest, as well as Des Bénévoles Park and its surroundings. It should be noted that the green spaces illustrated in this concept are not limited to the areas shown in green. The SPP will require a very high minimum percentage of greenery on the entire site. Next is the public plaza. An important aspect mentioned by a majority of citizens at the participatory workshop is the wish for a lively public plaza, strategically located at the heart of the site, of an area corresponding to its vocation. Followed by residential uses of various typologies surrounded by green spaces so as to blend in well with surrounding neighborhoods. And mixed uses comprising housing and commercial activities concentrated around the public plaza and the REM station. The institutional use that applies to the Margaret Manson School is preserved. Let's look in greater detail at the desired ambiances for the structuring outdoor spaces, starting with the central public plaza. It is wished that this space be a place of gathering for all citizens, with various recreational facilities to animate it all year long. Animation will also be ensured by dynamic interaction between the commercial activity and the public plaza, such as outdoor terraces, public markets, restaurants, and more. This slide shows examples of desired ambiances in structuring green spaces, with rest areas, walking and cycling paths, sidewalks, recreational facilities, lots of trees and greenery, urban furniture, etc. A fundamental element of the SPP vision is the gradation of heights and volumes of projected buildings to ensure harmonious integration with surrounding residential neighborhoods. Let's now take a look at the 3 different levels of density proposed on the site, which are low, medium, and high. In the northern part of the site, south of Elkis Boulevard, only low-density buildings, such as townhouses, are envisioned. The height of the buildings will gradually increase as we get closer to Highway 40 and the REM station. Medium density is envisioned at the center of the site. And at the southmost part of the site, near Highway 40, higher density buildings are envisioned. Given the importance for both Kirkland citizens and the town to have access to parking at the Kirkland REM station, the Town Council demanded that the SPP incorporate solutions in this sense. Requirements of the SPP for the project will therefore include parking reserved for the use of Kirkland citizens near the station, parking reserved for future residents of the requalified site, and finally, parking to accommodate the various uses planned on the site. The whole by prioritizing underground and tiered parking lots in order to maximize the presence of greenery on the site. To conclude, let's take a look at what the next steps are. First, we will analyze the comments sent by citizens following the viewing of this video, followed by an information public consultation session to be held with citizens this coming spring. And finally, the preparation of the Special Planning Program bylaw. So this concludes our presentation. We hope you enjoyed its content and thank you for your attention. We look forward to continuing the dialogue with our citizens to ensure that the Special Planning Program lives up to their expectations. I would like to encourage Kirkland citizens to submit their questions, comments, and suggestions regarding this major project using the interactive form found on this page. Also, we are currently developing a new question and answer section that will be available on this same page in the next few days. Designed as evolving, this section will include the questions and answers of public interest for all Kirklanders that will have been submitted by Kirkland citizens. Together, let's take on the challenge of developing an exemplary project that will, over generations, radiate through the West Island as an innovative, high-quality neighborhood, well integrated in its surroundings, sustainable and multi-generational, asserting the identity and pride of the Kirkland population. Thank you.